It's Lee the Builder here to build some knowledge for myself. And the topic today is talking about getting into, I think, as you get older, it's hard to find a relationship that possibly short term or possibly the one that you want to marry to. You know, as you get older, you spend more time on working, right? You don't have much time on dating culture. Even if you do, the dating culture that you're gonna get into is either a coworker or friends of friends. Now some people are very lucky, unfortunately, in this world that will have a constant dating their lifestyle because of the networking and things like that. But I'm only speaking in general. I can't speak of those who are very lucky all the time, getting girls all the time, or or getting a guy all the time. I made a video in the past talking about um how I took my client to attend his psychology interview appointment and stated that there's a lot of for that clinic there's more females getting sort of this sort of services, and majority of them are coming out with this whole similarity problem, which is they're wanting to find a guy. Now, back off of our guys' mind, we're like, man, any girls can find a dude anytime they want, just Tinder or things like that. But what they actually meant by is the finding the one, to have a long term relationship or the one to get married or things like that. I guess with the coronavirus has sparked a different side of the whole society, what it's be like. That's one part, all right. I'm talking about in general, all right. I've spoken to those who are working corporates or perhaps just working. I got one of my closest friend who really, really struggles. He's earning six figures per year, but he's struggled to held down a decent one. All right, and regardless, is modern age woman or Western woman are bad or good? That's another topic. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but just talk about in general. All right. So when they talk about those who are, psychologists who tend to the clinic, they don't want to go out and find a guy. They actually want a guy to settle down with. All right, fair enough. Everyone has, not everyone could settle. Made for settled a person now. Some of them are not designed for that. All right, I'm not saying good or bad about it, but forever when I look at into this and I look at our history and look at how we evolve in today's world. Back in the days, people get married at a very young age. Back in the days, there's child labor. Back in the days, the feminist rights wasn't that strong. Back in the days, working rights were not that strong. Back in the days, divorce, no fault divorce wasn't such a thing, unless if you're a widow, that's when you can remarried. Those were back in the days, right? Back in the days, selection of woman or selection of a partner is either arranged marriage or perhaps is a wealth marriage, or for the sake of um, accidental having a child and they have to be forced to marriage. There will be many ways back in the days how to get married, and nobody could really understand all the way through. All right, I can't blame everything. But what I do know is if I spoke to my parents, if I spoke to my grandparents, one thing is that they got married at a very young age. And there's a very common theme, even if I go back to my high school or university era. The dating or mating selection is pretty high. You get to know to that person whether your classmate or the classmate network, the girls or the guys, you get to know them pretty like a while. You can meet up and do this. You get to know each other. Nowadays, dating, you can't. really know each other. You only, you know, based on assumption by the first day. Oh, he didn't text my message, or before the first day, like the day, the text message, the phone game, like how well you are. Then you have to pass through this stage. Then you go through the dating. You know, did he pay for my meal? Did we do 50-50 split, or things like that? Like there's too much hurdles to go through. But during the younger years, we have that much time for investment. As you got out and finished university and got out and do this 9 to 5 day job, you start to realize you don't have much time, even though you really wanted to find the one to settle down, or get into a relationship. It is very, very difficult in that sort of environment and setting. Sometimes, you know, whether you're jobless. Now, I remember when I didn't have a job and get into a relationship, man, I'm tired, I'm strapped with cash and things like that as being a guy. And that's something that will prevent me to go move on with this relationship. There's many hurdles. Like everyone is different in a playing field. Obviously, if you're a good looking one, there's a lot more. You broaden your chances. You broaden your mating selection. I'm just speaking on those who are really you know, in this order. And definitely is like the general norm of a person married to someone is when a guy is like, you know, 30s, and I'm just saying, pulling numbers out, and usually married to those who are 5 years younger. Like, could you imagine yourself, right, marrying someone or dating someone 5 years below your school level? All right, basically that's the word it is, like 5 years or 4 years or 3 years. As my experience dating with someone with the same age as me sees a lot of this hierarchy battleship. You know, no one wants to give in. There's a lot of battle going on. Even that's why I don't really like it. But you know, we have a different stage of life. But however, when it comes to dating at the, you know, as you get older and as you tend to be more selective. I mean, I like back in the days when you're in high school or university, you just date because of love, right? Now, when you wanted to date someone or marry someone at an older age, you make sure that, you know, they're the ones going to look after you, or they're the ones that's going to provide resources for the family, you know, or is this the person that is the one that will make my, you know, my family come true, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot more hurdles than before. Before, you just look at it, when you like the person, you date the person, and you grow together, or you help one another and things like that. And later age, when you're dating someone, you're a bit more picky and choosy. Is this the right person? If I see her next 10 years, what will my life going to be like? That's why a lot of those who got married are really know the person from high school or university, and dating chances get really slim once you get out of this university, high school, because really, do you really want to date someone in your workplace and things goes off the roof, you guys breaking off, one of your career is jeopardized and it just gone downhill. So that's why I said, you know, when you look at the culture and things like that, when your family pick and choose arranged marriage, you know, like, you know, some cultures still very heavily back in the days, and even now they still have that sort of culture. Arranged marriage, shut up, married to the person, and live and die. Because when you look at the marriage or you look at a long term partnership, it's not about the physical side. It's about you and that person commitment together, start a family, and you know, love fades. You know, love can't always be there all the time. That's the problem. No matter how much you love that person, love fades. Love is just an impulse, I would say, in the dating lifestyle, you know. And when you see those back in the days who people get married, are either they're married because of a combined two family wealth together, or combine, you know, their high socioeconomic, or combining their IQ status, or things like that. But as you get older, it's murky. You can't tell from a dating profile, what's the person's like and this and that. But what you can judge by the pictures or things like that on their social media. Now, there's a lot more social media heavy influence in their daily lives. So you have that. So at the same time, you ask yourself, there's easy and there's an out turn in life. Obviously, as you get older, you start to realize what the importance of being with someone. Now, this could be, some of you may think of as a MGTOW, red pill, or feminist. You don't need a man to live your life. I'm speaking in general; those are not in that sort of paragraph. Or basically, time and experience hasn't got to their stage yet. So that's about it.